Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go through anything that has come into the game, and I haven't said anything at the moment. It's about 3 days left and you have to be careful and farm this wisely because you don't want to miss this really juicy rewards. It's like less than 3 days left. Here it says 8, but it's way less days because after you can't really farm all these materials. And what you need to do pretty much is go there, open something, but before we go there, guys, I won it. Silver medal on Greek Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Championship. Hooray, hooray. Sorry for being disturbed from that. I'm training, I'm a pro athlete also on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I have to balance between being a nerd, being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athlete, and work in the same time and take care of my princess, of course. And yes, here we are today to mention this event. And this event, in this event, basically you need to go here and pick up from one of these the 10 little, invitations from the 8-year anniversary party, and come here into your ACHIVE tab. On your ACHIVE tab, you have to go in the event, and you can see last year we took the 7-year anniversary, this year we took the 8-year anniversary, and on 8-year anniversary they're just giving us a Sarah Rogers facial icon, no artifact selector, and in the same time this really important thing that you have to see and take. So I'm gonna do a top 10 list on these characters, which is the 10 best characters to pick up, and I'm gonna go one by one the characters and why you should pick them up. So for your own information here, you just combine all these of the invitation of the party stuff, combine them, and you get the first of these. It's really easy to get, so you complete that like this. For this one, you need to go and do dispatch mission, and I had left my phone for like 30 or 40 runs, and I did on the live stream 10 more. It's like pretty much took me 60 dispatch missions, less or more, I'm not sure, but this is like dispatch missions, and this is like dimension missions. On dimension missions, if you just do your dailies and you don't really push it, I guess you're gonna get it. At the moment, for 3 or 4 days for farm, I have take 11, so I guess in the last day, if I see that I'm not gonna get a lot, I'm gonna do a lower stage and spend my energy from that, and take my chances to get more and complete it. So let's go into the characters, and it's really important not to fall into a trap and go and get a character that is not promising, a character that is not going to help you. And I mean, Wasp, Nadia Van Dane took an Awaken, but she didn't took a uniform. You don't want to pick her up, you don't want to pick Ghost, let's say. Perhaps in the future Ghost takes something, but I'm gonna talk about the traps and basically the characters you should go for. So let's go to character with the number 10. I lied, it's not the character with the number 10, it's the character with the number 11, because this specific character only is for people that has already buy the uniform of Magic. This one, because with this uniform, she is really good, and if you have her artifact and her uniform, you totally want to go for it, because she is one of the best characters, but because of her uniform, you can't really use her. She's good for PvP and for the new game mode and for Alliance Conquest, so it's the number 11 in the list. I'm not suggesting you only if you already have the uniform, but I guess if you already have the uniform and you pay real money for that, you already have the character. So yes, I'm just mentioning that she's really good. So now let's go to the real number 10, which is Maya Lopez. Echo is one of the best leadership for speed type characters, but in the same time you can go and swap her into her non-uniform. If you don't have the uniform for her, she's one of the best leadership for World Boss Legend, World Boss Legend and GBR, for characters that do fire damage. and she's really nice. You can also know that she's probably going to get something in the future from the MCU, because they're making her own TV show. So Maya Lopez is going to be into the MCU for sure. So potentially in the future, if you go now and tier 2 here, you can potentially build here and use her as you want. And also her leadership here is one of the best leadership for PvP and speed types. But in the same time, she's completely unnecessary right now in the state of the game. There's no way you can use her and being the absolute number one for something. There are other characters you're going to pick up for Alliance Battle Extreme and Alliance Battle Legend, like Wave, like Nick Fury. You don't want her 100% right now, but perhaps in the future you're gonna need her, and she's a really nice solution for a leadership, for Alliance Conquest, and that's all. So yeah, let's go to number 9. Number 9 is no other than Agent Venom, and Agent Venom used to be so outdated always, and when he took his uniform everyone thought that he's just a support type, and he was a support character for with her lead with his uniform. He is a really good support for symbiotes, for PvP and PV, because he's giving chain hit damage, but in the same time he's reducing the chain hit damage you're getting. And if you have his artifact already, in the previous days, months basically, they give away this artifact for free. So if you have that, you're gonna get a real value for your Venom or your Carnage. And remember that name, Carnage. Carnage is now into the meta of the game because of the new game mode. He is one of the best units in the game, so if you have a support for him, for Timeline Battle, for Alliance Conquest, it's really cool. And Agent Venom, he's into his own, with his 4th skill, can do a lot of kills. I'm using him on manual play, and if you run around and drop a 4th skill, you can do the kill even on Thanos, even on really meta characters. I'm not gonna say Jean Grey, because Jean Grey is the one that perhaps is not getting one-shotted from his 4th skill, but his 4th skill with the proc, believe me, one-shotting Thanos, one-shotting Hulk. I've seen him doing that multiple times in my account, and I don't have a really good build on him, as you noticed. So yeah, let's go into the number 8. And something I didn't mention about Agent Venom, he's not meta support, or you don't really need him for a specific day. Only if you have built your Venom for Alliance Battle Legend and you want to maximize his output there, you could use Agent Venom. Other than that, you don't really need him for something to be the top meta for ABL, ABX or PvE generally. Same thing for Riri Williams here, Ironheart. In my opinion, she is in the 8th place, but only the fact that she's providing you really huge leadership for Blast type, 55%, and in the same time from her uniform you can get an extra 35% increased damage to both types and an ignored dodge buff, which is really important for PvE. Is she the best leadership for PvE? No. Is she a meta for a specific day of ABL and ABX or something? No, I don't feel like she is. So yes, you could say she's one of the best leadership for Blast type characters, but that's all, you know. You don't really need her for something in the game right now, but in the same time she is really cool. She can proc on her 4th skill, no extreme damage, but yeah, she is what she is. That's why I'm dropping her here at the number 8. Let's go, in the number 8. So let's go to number 7. At number 7 is Dazzler, and Dazzler, it's the first character I'm showcasing here, and I'm putting her in front of characters that can go Awaken or Tier 3, even if she's just Tier 2, only because she is the meta character to use for PvE and specific ABL, both ABL days that want you to use mutant type characters. And the fact that she's here, it's because of her support buff here. It's 65 damage on your allies against both types, with a special ignore dodge 70% extra. So yes, she's providing really nice buffs, and you can buff your Jean Grey, you can buff your Storm or whatever, Professor X, whatever you're using for ABL. And this is a must have Also, it's a must-have City of Insight on here, and probably, basically, we can't really know when she's going to get the Awaken and the Tier 3, but at the moment she's already usable for multiple days of ABL in the 2 weeks of period of time, or the 3 days of ABL and ABX if you're gonna use your Jean Grey. She is one of the best support. If you don't have Morgan Le Fay, she's the second best support to use for here. Yes, I'm totally into Dazzler. I could go for here, and I'm talking about the character. Even if she's so beautiful, I have a girlfriend. So let's go to number 6. Another tier 2 character, Mubaku. Everyone was pissed off when Mubaku came into the game and they didn't give him an Awaken or a tier 3 because he is a really useful character as a support, but you can't really use him on multiple game modes like World Boss Legend and GBR, but you only can use him on ABL and ABX. Is this enough? Yes, for this dude, this is enough. Why is that? Because he's supporting with this extra duper wow super support buff, 45% damage against super villains, hello, and in the same time he's giving another buff through his leadership, so potentially he give 30% physical attack, 45% damage against villains, and the game provide us a free 4-star version of this artifact. I was lucky enough to get a 5-star artifact on him. That's really weird, but yes, I was lucky. So you're getting extra 12% basic attack on your all allies, villain, superheroes, whatever. So potentially he is one of the best leadership / support in the game, because if you have a character providing you 12% plus 0.4 total instinct, that means if you have this artifact, you know, high level, and if you choose the right artifact here, not like me choosing Destruction, it will, I have to reroll that, but yes, it's one of the artifacts I have F up on them. But yeah, if you had, you know, even more instinct here, this could provide you like 20%, so potentially 20 plus 30 plus 45, it's huge numbers. It's like 95% in total boost on a character that do physical damage, or 75 support buff on a character that do whatever damage you want, because all of his skills providing support to all allies, and the physical attack buff also all allies. Yeah, so potentially characters like Thanos, I mean, Thanos got his own leadership, so it's not a good example, but I've seen a lot of people, and me myself, using him as a support character for Alliance Conquest, and in the same time he's the best character to use with Moon Knight, he's the best character to use with Venom instead of Agent Venom, or, you know, go double dip on them with Agent Venom I called previously. He's a really nice character to use, and I really am into him. I'm going for him, and Dr. Octopus also gets supported by him. Really nice, really important. You can provide support to all your combo types on ABL and ABX. He's a meta character there, and I would give him a City of Insight also because he can participate in multiple days of ABL and ABX. Even if he is tier 2, he totally worth it. And let's go to number 6. I want to say number 5, sorry, I'm always confused on that, and it's no other than Ghost Panther. Ghost Panther recently took his Awaken. He's really bad by his own, but in the same time he is the best leadership and support to use with Jean Grey. And as Jean Grey is like the best character in the game right now, for PvE, you want him into your group to provide her support on multiple game modes, from GBR being the best character to use as leadership, ABL, ABX, and of course World Boss Legend, but because of the restrictions there, you can't really have whatever you want. So for Universal, because both are Universal, it's really helpful support for multiple characters. Also, Thor is getting a huge support on him for the Universal Hero Day of ABX. So if you want to be in the top, you want him, and probably you want to use City of Insight on him also. But yes, he is out of your mind good, and I would suggest you go for him 100% if you don't already have him. And let's go to number 5. I mean number 4, yeah. Number 4 is Luna Snow, and Luna Snow, it's with this uniform in the game more than 1 year. The uniform didn't upgrade here a lot, the last uniform she took, but in the same time she provides you a really good DPS for ABX and ABL. If you're missing anyone from, if you're missing level 80s or missing tier 4 character, she can be in the same level of Shuri and Kamala Khan still. If you build her really good with the CP of raids, if you invest in her heavily, she's gonna provide you a really nice output. And you're gonna tell me why I'm gonna do that if I already can have Shuri or Kamala Khan and doing similar damage. That's because Luna Snow feels like she's going to get a tier 4. Apparently, it's 1 year, everyone is waiting for that, but yes, there's no way they skip Luna Snow tier 4, so she's going to get something in the future. I mean, I could bet like less than 2 months. It's not like two weeks from now, but it's not like 1 year. It's something between 2 weeks and 2 months, in my opinion. She's going to get a tier 4, and you're gonna get a lot of value on here because she's usable for 5 days of ABL ABX. And with her tags, being a human, being a hero, being a female, she can use multiple times on World Boss, Legend, and GBR, of course. So yes, Luna Snow, Team Luna, number 4, and let's go to number 3 of this list. It's no other than Polaris. Polaris can provide you a really huge buff on every of your mutant characters as a support, mutant allies 45%, or as a leadership. And if you combine them, they're like 90%. 90% is a huge number for all mutants, but in the same time, the fact that she's herself a really good DPS for ABL day, this ABL day female blast type, or blast type hero, it's really hard to go because the only character that you could pick up there it's Jean Grey, so you have to pay in front 6,000 and get an old uniform, the blast uniform of Jean. Storm, a paywall uniform that you can't really get it until the summer, or Professor X. Professor X is a really pain to get if you are farming, the Dimension mission every single day. Perhaps you have some bias for him and invest, but the only free from all these restrictions character, but in the same time she's paywall, is Polaris. She's like 4th or 5th in the damage output she's having. Perhaps she's like kind of worse than Magic, but Polaris can pull out at least 5 or 6 million for your ABL score. She is really good, and whatever, when I was using her, there is a video in my channel using her, I did like 4 million with no build at all, with like a CTP of raids and nothing else. You can see she was providing me 4 million easy peasy, so I would go and pick her up if I don't have any character for ABL, and these days I was said previously. So now let's go to the two winners of this top 10 list. And this two is no other than Namor and Cornet. But we're gonna talk firstly for Namor, and I'm telling you about both of them because depending on what you care more in the game, like if you care more for a PvE or care more for PvP. So if you care more for PvE, Namor is one of the best combat villain guys to go for. ABL, ABX, all the World Boss Legends, he is really good, and the fact that he got the strong ability here provides you a unique character, because this strong ability is the only thing you can use for Gore stage 50, I think. Let me see, and I have stuck there, me myself going to redeem this thing. You can see here the only strong character that can be tier 4 here on this list is Namor, so you need him 100% if you want to complete these high stages of World Boss Legend. But me myself gonna pick up his tier 2 advancement. I'm gonna pick up this tier 2 selector to fix his uniform. I'm gonna build from heroic to legendary, and from legendary to heroic with a ticket. So if you want someone to be good on these days of ABL and ABX, Namor is your guy. But in the same time, you have to consider that Dr. Octopus is out there and he's free to play and he's better than Namor. So already there's a free-to-play option better than Namor, but this free-to-play option don't have the strong tag ability, which is useful if you want to climb high on World Boss Legend. So in my opinion, you know, if you want to go min-max, you know, build Dr. Octopus. If you want to just go high World Boss Legend, you need Namor, so go for Namor and eventually build him after a while, because his uniform always gonna be there and on sale and stuff like that. So Namor it is the guy I'm going to build probably, and the number one is no other than Carnage. Carnage start to be one of the characters that high utility because of being a human, a combat, super, you know, pure evil, symbiote. He got everything on his tags, but these days, other than you can use him for ABL, ABX, he's not better than Namor, he's not better than Dr. Octopus, so you can't really go and build and invest on him for PvE, but you can go and invest on him for PvE for sure for the pure evil tag stage of Ultron, which is stage 45 to 49. I have already done that, and that's why I stopped using him for PvE, because all I need for him was that, but these days Thanos provides that also. So in my mind, the only reason to go and build your Carnage is because you want to participate on a high level of other world boss challenge, and if you go and see every single team that got a high on this, go to Carnage tier 4. If you don't plan to go tier 4 Carnage, Carnage is not going to be good on PvP. Even if you have his artifact, even if you want to build him with a maximum build for PvP, you're not gonna have the results you believe you're gonna have. So pick the Carnage only because he's meta for PvP and you want to invest on him. If you don't invest on him, go for support, you know. This dude needs tier 4, this dude needs mighty or brilliant, authority or an egg or greed to participate on any of the content you're seeing. But if you do that, he is one of the best pickups for timeline bubble manually. You can go run around, press a 4th skill and destroy Jean Grace, destroy everyone who is against you. He is out of your mind good, and I was sleeping on him. I wasn't using him for PvP, and these days I'm using him for PvP and he's going mental. Guys, I've seen doing miracles on the thing here, on the new game mode. Basically, he is completely dismantle every single enemy. He's going 1 versus 1 with huge fat Jean Grace and he's destroying them, and I'm doing some wins myself, you know. I'm picking up teams with tier 4 Jean Grey and still I can win them. It's really easy, and you can see that if you give him also the support of a character like Wasp, you know, to dispel him all the time, to give him an extra HP buff, he can stay there and destroy every single enemy that you are gonna go against. So that was my list. Carnage, my boy, praise to you. Finally, you're the meta for something, and I am into that meta with you. We are going and killing everyone on timeline battle together, my brother. Really glad. And that was my list. I hope I let you know everything on this tier 2 ticket selector. Don't sleep on it. Farm the stages that you need to farm. Farm dispatch mission. Farm dimension mission. Don't let it for the last day, because it's gonna be a pain if you lose it. But yes, that's my opinion. Let me know down below in the comments what are you going to pick, and of course don't forget to smash the like button and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, because more is coming for swords and everything I want to talk about in this game, state of the game right now. See you into the next. Kisses in your faces.